Hello, this is Palmer and I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV. This is a quick look at the game, it's a first impressions. I'm not going to try to review the game. I've played the game in beta previously. This is phase 4 of the beta, but even though I've played it a bit, I haven't played it enough to really tell you whether the game is good or whether it's bad. I'm not going to try to do that. So we're just going to take a look at some of the features and hopefully give you an idea what to expect if you start out as a new player in Final Fantasy XIV. This of course is a new version of the game. The original Final Fantasy XIV was not a great success, so they've remade it. And what you're currently seeing here is phase 4 of the beta, which is the final phase. I'm just going to make a new character. You can see the character selection options here. You have a number of races with unusual names, but basically you've got the human, the elf, the small thing which seems to appear in a lot of Asian MMOs, cat person, and this is some sort of ogre type creature. Here are the female models. I'm going to play a male elf. This is just for character creation. I've got another character which I'll load up later on to have a look at combat. So, and the environment, this is purely for graphical purposes. Different versions. This one has a higher dexterity. This one has a higher intelligence. Randomized appearance to give you an idea of the appearance options. There's all sorts of sliders. I mean, here's, well, this isn't a slider here. This is just options. Eye shape, for example. You can mess around with the mouth. All sorts of options here. Hair color, hairstyle. But just to give you some sort of idea of the different options available and how much you can personalise your character, I'm just going to make some random appearances. This will do. Oh, look at this. Grumpy old man, that's fantastic. Yes, confirm on that. Yes, please. I have no idea what choosing your birth date does. I have no idea what choosing your deity does. Must make some difference, I'm sure, but who knows. And you have various classes divided into 2 categories, magic and sort of melee fighting. I'm going to try playing a archer. One of the features of this game is large number of cutscenes throughout the game. And we're going to see a cutscene now. This is a strange sort of introduction. Okay, loading up. So here's an introductory cutscene which I think is designed to give you some idea of the main storyline, the setting. One thing that's actually missing in the beta version is some of the voice acting. As I understand it, they haven't included that. That will be included in there. Will be more voice acting in the full game than in this. Oh, here is some voicing actually. Anyway, but the cutscenes are quite impressive. We'll move on to the next cutscene in the game. So the game starts you off as a newbie. And you are travelling towards your starting city, and you speak to an NPC and he gives you some exposition. He tells you about the place that you're about to be going to. There we go, a little story, some Moogles come and talk to you. So we'll skip past this, I don't suppose you want to see it all, and if you're actually going to play the game, you probably want to experience it for yourself. Here we go, yet more cutscenes.
its towering trees lies the woodland city-state of Gridania.
So this is a newbie experience. Our character is in a cart, he's travelling towards a starting city, and you see some nice graphics and some text to tell you about the starting city and what a lovely
sanctuary from the world beyond the hedge. Even the mighty elementals, eternal guardians of the forest, could not forestall the coming of the seventh umbral era.
Yeah, to tell you what a lovely place it is. So we'll skip past this.
The goddess Nofika was never one to
Here we go, here's the starting area. Now, I did make it clear that I haven't played the game, I can't move. A huge amount. I haven't played a high level. I haven't done any crafting. I'm not in a position to review the game. I'll tell you basically what type of game it is, so you will be very familiar with this if you've played World of Warcraft or many other games that are similar. Gameplay largely involves getting quests from people like this chap here, who has an icon over his head. You talk to him, you get the quest, you do whatever he asks you to do. In these early stages it tends to involve wandering around the city, picking up items, talking to people, whatever. Later on it tends to involve killing things, or alternatively collecting items out in the wild. So it's very traditional gameplay. You target, when you're fighting, you target an enemy, you press the number buttons to use your special abilities. At the moment I only have one special ability, Heavy Shot, which fires an arrow, I suppose. So to start with, at the very early stages, you're going to be running around the town or city, speaking to NPCs. That last NPC, you see, he gave me a quest to come over here and speak to this NPC, who is going to give me another quest. Now this particular NPC gives me what I guess you might call story quest. Let's skip this cutscene if it will let me. Yes, please. So you have one, or you actually have more than one sometimes, a sort of a main quest, what I've called a story quest, something which is very important to your character. Here we go, main scenario quests they're called. And you have to do these basically to proceed, as I understand it. And then you will be offered all sorts of sort of normal, hundreds and hundreds of normal quests at the same time. Now when I finish with this, I will probably leave the instance I'm in, because I'm actually in an instance now, and I will find myself in the actual game world, surrounded by other players. So what does she want me to do? She wants me to travel around the city, speak to other NPCs, and as I do that, guess what? They're going to give me more little quests to do. I'm not going to do her starting quest because it's not a lot of fun, it's not very exciting. Here we go, here's a guy. Let's see if we can take a look at the other characters. I can't find a way to zoom all the way into first person view in this. I can get rid of the... there we go. I'm just trying to give you a view here of other player characters so you can see what they look like. They're all low level, obviously. Now this thing here is part of the transportation system. So you attune yourself to these crystals, these apherite or aetheryte crystals, and once you've attuned yourself to one, you can teleport between them. So now I've learned a spell that allows me to return to my home city whenever I like, but also you can actually teleport between the crystals sometimes. So here we go, that's the starting city. Now I won't do all the starting quests, you just have to take my word for it that they basically involve running around this city, talking to NPCs, sometimes picking up items that they've left on the floor for some bizarre reason, delivering things. You have quests where you have to use emotes on NPCs, you target them and you type in, you know, hello or welcome or whatever emote you're being told to use on them. A lot of running around the city, and it's kind of interesting. You know, you learn about the city, you see the trading districts, you get to see the various crafting guilds and where they are, but perhaps it's not actually that exciting. I mean, I can imagine it might be useful for the long term if you're playing the game. It's not exciting. I'm going to show you combat. So here we go, this guy is level, what is he, level 10. He's a different class, he's a pugilist. I think pugilist is the phrase. So that means he's like a monk basically. He uses his fists. He's a melee fighter. He uses his fists. That's his starting city there. He has a different starting city to the sort of elf-like sort of forest that we just saw. This guy's starting city is an actual sort of medieval city, European style city really. There you can see some guy riding a chocobo. Chocobos, of course, the traditional way that you travel around in Final Fantasy. This on the map here, this sort of purple pink face type thing, that tells you that a fate is taking place. I'm not sure what fate, why they're called fates, but a fate is the same as a public quest in other games. You're familiar with public quests. I may be a bit low for this particular public quest. Oh dear, it's going to be over by the time I get there. Alright, well I didn't do anything to help, but you probably got the impression just from that. There's a whole load of people all killing a big monster, and you get a certain amount of points based on how much you contribute. The more you contribute, the more you get in terms of XP and gold as a reward. I shouldn't say gold because Final Fantasy doesn't have gold. It has gil, which is the currency in all the Final Fantasy games. Now, most quests involve just killing monsters, as you can probably guess. Sometimes they involve doing other things like picking up items. These monsters have little icons over their heads. Now I don't actually have a quest for these. I have something else, which is a hunting quest. Where's my hunting log? Personal logs, is that it? Here we go, the hunting log. All these monsters here, I sort of have a quest to do just to kill these monsters. This is called my hunting log. So this is on top of the normal quest that you get from NPCs, and it's very simple. There's nothing to do apart from just kill the monsters. The idea is probably that you can do these at the same time as doing your actual quest. So this guy, a Spriggian grave robber. I need to kill a few of these for my hunting quest. Okay, now let's go and find an actual quest. Right, so I have a quest to kill these things. What is it? Sometimes the odd ways are best. Slay hammer beaks and obtain 8 of their ribs. Okay. This character, most of the combat classes have a little sort of twist to the game mechanics, even though your basic combat involves clicking on whatever you want to kill or pressing the tab key, and then pressing number buttons to activate abilities. There's usually a little twist. In this case I have abilities which change my form, my sort of fighting stance, and I move from one form to the other. This one changes my form to raptor. This one can only be used when in raptor form, but changes my form to Coel. This one changes my form from Coel to Oppo. Now that probably doesn't mean anything at all to you. I'd be a bit surprised if it does. What it basically means is that if I press them in the right order, then I get a buff. If I change from one form to the other, to the other, 1, 2, 3, I get a buff which is called Grease Lightning. So I need to use my skills in a specific order in order to get a buff which makes me better at fighting. Other abilities I have here, this one increases my evasion, this one heals me slightly, this one is a sort of retaliation after I succeed in evading an attack. So the enemy does a frontal attack, and as you can see it gave me some warning. There is a graphical marking on the ground to show me to get out of the way. So here's combat, it's fairly straightforward really. Oops, I managed to evade, so here's my there we go. So that's pretty cool. That's a new ability I got, the Haymaker, which is the one that I can use after I evade, and it seems to do a hell of a lot of damage, so that's nice. So we've seen Fates, which are the public quests. We've seen the Hunting Lodge quests. This is a bog standard sort of boring quest. Well, it's not boring, I shouldn't say that. Bog standard quest. The game also has achievements. So you get an achievement for, I don't know, you know, completing 10 quests, doing this and that. Let's have a look at my achievements, if I can. Where is it? Journal. No. My quest journal, personal logs, achievements. So yes, defeat 100 enemies, there's an achievement, complete 30 quests, there's an achievement, so on and so forth. Not that unusual in games. They've made this fairly traditional, as I said before. I think the original Final Fantasy game, which Final Fantasy XIV game, which wasn't seen as a great success, wasn't very popular. They tried to do something different there and break the mould, and that was seen as not working. So what I think they've done here, this is just my sort of understanding of it really, is they have decided to go for a much more sort of traditional, easy to understand model, and you may think that's a good thing, you may think that's a bad thing, but it's definitely something that you would have seen before. Here's another quest that I have to do to... What do I have to do to pick up this ore? Yeah, that's it. I need to pick up the oil, but when I do, a monster spawns and attacks me. So here's one of these aetheryte things, so it's quite easy to teleport back to here. In fact, I won't actually use it, but yeah, I'm not sure what this does actually. Register favoured destination. Well, anyway, I can set this as my home point too. I can do, but I won't. My home point at the moment is the newbie starting city. I'm going to leave it there. All I want to show you here is what happens when I hand in a quest. You actually have to hand over items. You can either right click and press hand over, or you can physically drag them over. Either way, it's well, a bit of a pain, I think. There we go. I'm going to get myself a new hat. Yep, very traditional. Load up my armory. You can, for different classes, because each character can actually have more than one class, although this character only has the one class at the moment, you can keep a different armor set for each class. So I could have my pugilist armor set, and I could have my mage armor set. What did I just get there? Was it some gloves? No, it was a hat, wasn't it? Here we go. I'm going to put this hat on. And there I am in my new hat. So this is the armory chest. This is your armory inventory, but of course you also have a sort of normal inventory. There it is. Various bits and bobs I've picked up. Key items, those are my quest items, are in a separate little pouch. And as you probably know, well, I was going to talk about chocobos, but before we talk about chocobos, here is a Moogle, and the Moogles in this game are the post boxes. No new letters for me today. This is how you post mail. Chocobos, I assume that at some point you get a chocobo you can actually use, like a horse in other games, just to use whenever you like. At the moment, the only chocobos I have found, but I'm sure others must exist, are ones that take you to a set destination. You can't just ride around as much as you like. So this is going to take me back to the home city, but I'll probably get off halfway through. I love the music though. There we go. I said I was going to get off, but I didn't, because I love this, the chocobo theme. Reminds me of playing Final Fantasy, the proper Final Fantasy games. So let's have a look at the main city. The reason I'm going in here really is I'm going to rent another chocobo and go back. So look at these characters. Just to give you some idea what character design is like. Never worked out how to zoom in to first person view. I don't know if it's possible, so you have to put up my character standing there. Rent a chocobo. Can I rent a chocobo? Rent a chocobos. Okay, well this is cool. I haven't actually done this before, so dismounting rental chocobos. I click this to get off it. So I have this for 10 minutes and I can go wherever I want to go. Try going up here. There seems to be a dungeon. So, what do you think of the graphics? I like the graphics. I'm going to try to go into that cave, that dungeon thing, if that's what it is. I like the graphics in this game. I think it looks quite pretty. It's not revolutionary. It's not really doing anything new. But it's very well produced, it's high quality, it's got high production values. Right, I'll travel to this cave and I'll restart the video once I get there. Right, well I can't go in this cave. I don't know why, it doesn't tell me. Never mind. Perhaps I'm too low level. There is a guy here who says, go right in if you'll show off your adventuring skills. I assume I have to be high level, so never mind. Anyway, let's have a look at these people fighting just to finish off this film. Have a look at the combat by looking at what other people do. Oh, I'll try and defend myself first of all from this. So here's a mage character of some kind. So there we go, that's my first impressions of Final Fantasy XIV, a Realm Reborn, which is a title given to the new Final Fantasy XIV. I don't think it's going to have the same problems as the original version of Final Fantasy XIV. Nobody's going to say that it's a failure as a game. It's a high quality, traditional MMO in my view. It doesn't have many surprises, doesn't have many features that people are going to think are horribly new and original and surprising. I'm sure there are some sort of new features in the game that you don't find elsewhere, but the basic gameplay, the basic what you do when you load up this game and play it is what you've done in other MMOs in the past. It's not something that's brand new and full of surprises. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. It's up to you, but I think it looks beautiful, and I feel confident that this game will have high production values all the way. You're not going to find anything strange and horrible game mechanics that simply don't work or anything like that. It's going to work, but whether it's different enough to anything that you've played in the past is another matter. Some players won't care about that. Some players like these games. I like them, but I've played lots of them, and personally what I'm looking for in an MMO is something new and different, something that I haven't seen before. and I don't think I'm going to get it in this game here, Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. But that's just my opinion, and that's just my opinion having played the game for a fairly short time, even though I've been involved in the betas all the way through. There's lots and lots that I haven't seen, and I may pick up this game, I may give it a go, even when it comes out commercially, just to see what else is there. Thank you very much indeed for listening. I hope you found this video interesting or informative in some ways, and do leave some comments below. Thank you very much for watching.